The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Toots Ople has passed away. In a statement, the DMW said its chief died at around 1 p.m. today, August 22, surrounded by her family and loved ones. There was no cause of death given, but Secretary Ople had been battling breast cancer for years. In July, Ople took a break from her duties to grieve the passing of her two elder brothers, ex-Hagonoy Mayor Felix Ople and former journalist Blas Ople Jr., who both succumbed to lung cancer. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos mourns the death of Ople, saying her absence is a big loss to the country. She was appointed as DMW chief last year after working for decades advocating for overseas Filipino workers.
It's a very, very sad news. I have lost a friend. The Philippines has lost a friend. Secretary Toots is a special person, and with a deep compassion, really, for the people that she had to care for, namely the migrant workers. And she was very, very. It's a big loss. She's ang galing-galing ni Secretary Toots. She very much followed in the tradition of Blas Ople, of excellence, of compassion. It is a great loss for all of us. It is a great loss for all of us who called her my friend. It is a great loss to the Philippines for the service that we know she would still have rendered had she lived.
Some schools in Pampanga remain flooded days before the opening of classes next week. Mon Gualvez tells us more about this over the phone. Mon, how's the situation over there?
Denise, weather sunny here in Macabebe, Pampanga today, but in some schools like San Gabriel Elementary School, people are still wading in flood waters of up to 5 to 6 feet deep. And I'm talking about the flood inside the campus. We caught sight actually of features on boats inside the school grounds. In between buildings, they have built makeshift bridges out of worn lumber and plywood. And of course, they had to be extra careful when crossing. San Gabriel Elementary School head Eufemia Castro believes it will take 8 more months before the flood waters fully subside. That's why they just might have to endure the whole school year submerged in the flood. Problem is, the water is already stagnant, from a breeding ground for mosquito larvae. There are also classrooms that cannot be used still because of the water. And because of the situation, their enrollment rate fell down considerably. From 147 last year and 250 in 2021, when the setup was still modular, they only clocked in 90 enrollees for this school year. This would, of course, affect the maintenance budget the DepEd gives them, making it harder for the school to recover. But despite this, San Gabriel Elementary School still soldiers on with their Brigada Escuela. They have also removed all learning materials from the walls, as well as pictures of President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President and Secretary Sara Duterte. This is obedience with the latest memo of DepEd requiring blank walls in classrooms so they can be less of a distraction to students. Denise?
Mon Gualvez there reporting to us from Macabebe in Pampanga. Private schools fear that banning the no permit, no exam policy will lead to their, quote, painful death. Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations of the Philippines, or COCOPEA, believes the proposal is against the Constitution. COCOPEA Legal Counsel Cristina Carmina Manaog told Ted Filon at DJ Chacha that private schools operate on tuition and could be forced to shut down if they can't collect. Manaog is now calling on lawmakers pushing for the scrapping of the no permit, no exam policy to reconsider their stance.
Nasa batas kasi natin yung complementarity ng ating public and private education system. Malakas kasi ang posisyon namin dito na i-violate niya tong provision na to kasi it increases the imbalance between the public and private. Kasi nire-restrict nila kami to determine ang aming operations, ang aming finances. If mapapasa talaga tong panukalang batas na ito, it will be an immediate or slow death sa ating private schools. But all the same, it will be a painful death for the private education sector.
The Interagency Council on Traffic, or IACT, will be strictly implementing the no decals, no entry policy at the EDSA bus carousel for the FIBA World Cup. IACT Chief Charlie De Losario said that participants for the much-awaited or much-anticipated basketball event will be allowed to use the EDSA Busway so long as their vehicles have FIBA-designated decals. FIBA delegates need to coordinate with MMDA's personnel for assistance when navigating this road. Del Rosario said that buses and commuters will still be given priority in the bus lane.
Kung wala pong decal yan at nakasunod po sa isang sasakyan na may decal, paparahin po yan at palalabasin, kundi po uhulihin. So yun lang po, maliwanag po, yun lang kung may decals ang pwedeng papasukin at paggamitin ng EDSA bus carousel. Lalo na po yan kung ito ay pribadong sasakyan at yung mga bus na rin po na na-accredit.
Team USA has arrived in Manila for the FIBA World Cup. The Americans touched down at around 8 in the morning today. From the airport, the team headed straight to their hotel to rest. The United States is among the top contenders in the Worlds. It will be bannered mostly by young guns like Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards, New Orleans Pelican Brandon Ingram, and New York Knicks Jalen Brunson. The U.S. is in Group C along with Jordan, Greece, and New Zealand. Their games will be held at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. More stories coming your way after a quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Some business groups are concerned that the suspension of reclamation projects in Manila Bay could put off potential investors. President Bongbong Marcos had halted most reclamation projects earlier this month to assess their environmental impact. But so far, no review timeline has been released. Because of this, business leaders say that they are worried about the country's inconsistent policies. They also noted that this could drive foreign investors to other countries like Vietnam or Thailand. Businessmen also believe that reclamation could have expanded the cities of Manila and Pasay and later on stabilize land prices to make them more affordable. Here are the global headlines we're following today. Storms are wreaking havoc in the Americas. In California, USA, Tropical Storm Hilary triggered massive flooding and mudslides. The U.S. National Weather Service claims that this storm is one for the books, with Hilary being the first to make landfall in Southern California since 1939. Before moving on to the U.S., Hilary also inundated Mexico, killing at least one person. Strong winds caused billboards, transformers, and light posts to collapse, resulting in power outages and water cuts in Mexicali. From torrential rains to scorching temperatures, Italy is trying to keep cool amid a new heat wave called Nero. High temperatures lingered in Rome and Milan on Monday as a heat wave hit the peninsula. Forecasters predict that the heat wave will bring high humidity and temperatures of up to 38 degrees Celsius for at least 5 days. Sweltering conditions are expected to ease by the end of the week, with thunderstorms expected to come in. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau criticized Meta for blocking domestic news from its platforms. Trudeau accused the firm of prioritizing profit over safety while devastating wildfires forced tens of thousands to evacuate their homes. This month, Meta started blocking news on its Facebook and Instagram platforms for all users in Canada. This was a response to a new law requiring internet giants to pay for news articles. Back here at home, more teams and executives have arrived in Manila for the FIBA World Cup this Friday. Among them is Team Dominican Republic, whom Gilas Pilipinas will face first in its campaign. Here's the report. Teams and executives continue to arrive in heaps for the FIBA World Cup to be co-hosted by the Philippines beginning August 25. FIBA Global Ambassador and former Houston Rockets center Yao Ming arrived yesterday morning. On the evening of the same day, German basketball icon Dirk Nowitzki landed here. Dirk says he's excited to watch the World Cup surrounded by Pinoy basketball fans. He last set foot in Manila last April for the World Cup draw.
I'm excited to be back now. I can't believe the World Cup is actually here. I think it's going to be a great World Cup with a lot of great countries. I'm going to the opening game of the Philippines, hopefully with 50,000 people. So looking forward to a great World Cup.
FIBA Year President Jorge Garbajosa, who played for Spain before, is also excited for the global showcase. In particular, Garbajosa is ecstatic about how teams from various parts of the globe improved.
There's many because the level is getting better and better, and obviously, hopefully Spain, but United States, Canada, Australia, Germany, Latvia, France, Italy. There's a lot of such great teams, and everybody can be in the final phase.
Also among those who have arrived is Team Dominican Republic, whom Gilas Pilipinas will open its World Cup campaign against this Friday. Minnesota Timberwolves star Karl Anthony Towns will spearhead the team in his first appearance for Dominican Republic in 10 years. Kat says it's a huge honor to play in front of enthusiastic Pinoy fans.
All my Filipino fans, thank you for all the support. I've seen all the tweets you guys done for me in the years. I'm so happy to be here. I always told everyone, all my Filipino fans, I would be here next year, and this is that year.
Dominican Republic also underwent intense training for the World Cup, but they say they won't be complacent against the Philippines, who will be bannered by another NBA star, Jordan Clarkson.
Clarkson is a star too, you know, and we know that he's very dangerous because he produces a lot of things. Filipinos have a great team. For us, it's a big motivation play against them.
While teams and officials continue to arrive, Gilas remains focused in their preparations for the World Tilt. Fans are anticipating who will make up the final 12-man roster of the Team Philippines for the World Cup. Gilas has 1 day to complete the roster before the deadline on August 23. One News Now will be back at 6 p.m. with the day's latest stories. I'm Denise Tan, and let me remind you again that it's 3 days to go before the FIBA World Cup kicks off. So support Gilas, support Team Pilipinas, watch and buy tickets to the biggest sports event of the year. And let us all rally behind the national team.